When people look at my life today, they often think it was always like this. They see the confidence, the calm, the direction, and they assume I woke up one day already knowing who I was and where I was going. But the truth is very different. My life did not change in one big moment. It changed in many small, quiet moments that most people never saw. Today I want to share my life-changing journey, not because it is perfect, but because it is real. And if you are listening right now and you feel lost, tired, or unsure about yourself, I want you to know that you are not alone. For a long time, I lived on autopilot. I woke up, did what I was supposed to do, and went to sleep over and over again. I followed rules that I did not question. I chased goals that were not really mine. I smiled when I was supposed to smile and stayed quiet when I wanted to speak. On the outside, everything looked normal. But on the inside, I felt empty. I felt like I was watching my own life from far away, like a movie I did not choose to be in. I remember many nights when I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, asking myself the same question again and again. Is this really it? Is this all my life is going to be? I was not sad all the time, but I was not happy either. I was just existing. And that feeling is dangerous, because when you exist without purpose, days start to blur together, and years can disappear without you noticing. The hardest part was that I blamed myself. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I was ungrateful, weak, or lazy. Other people seemed to handle life just fine, so why couldn't I? I tried to fix the feeling by working harder, by distracting myself, by telling myself to be patient. But no matter what I did, the emptiness followed me. One day, something very small happened, but it changed everything. I was sitting alone, scrolling on my phone, wasting time like I had done 1,000 times before. I saw a quote that said, "If nothing changes, nothing changes." I know it sounds simple, almost silly, but for some reason, it hit me deeply. I realized that I was waiting for my life to change, but I was doing the same things every day. I was hoping for a different future while repeating the same habits. That moment did not magically fix my life, but it woke me up. For the first time, I took responsibility, not in a harsh way, but in an honest way. I admitted to myself that no one was coming to save me. No perfect opportunity, no perfect person, no perfect moment. If my life was going to change, I had to be part of that change. At first, I didn't know where to start. The idea of changing my whole life was scary. So I decided to start small. Very small. I focused on one simple promise. I would stop lying to myself. If I was tired, I would admit it. If I was afraid, I would say it out loud. If something was hurting me, I would not pretend it was fine. That honesty was uncomfortable. When you stop lying to yourself, you have to face things you've been avoiding. I had to admit that some people in my life were draining me. I had to admit that some of my habits were keeping me stuck. I had to admit that I was afraid of failing, but even more afraid of trying. There were days when I wanted to go back to my old life, because it was familiar. Even pain can feel comfortable when you've known it for a long time. Change asks something from you. It asks for effort. It asks for patience. It asks you to sit with discomfort instead of running from it. Slowly, I started building new habits. Not impressive ones, just honest ones. I started waking up a little earlier, not to be productive, but to have quiet time with myself. I started listening more than I spoke. I started writing down my thoughts, even the messy ones. I started taking care of my body, not because I wanted to look a certain way, but because I realized my body carried me through everything. Along the way, I failed many times. I quit and restarted more times than I can count. Some days I felt strong and motivated. Other days I felt tired and confused. But something was different now. Even when I failed, I didn't give up on myself completely. I learned to say, today was hard, but I'm still trying. One of the biggest lessons I learned was that growth is not loud. It doesn't always look like big wins or dramatic changes. Most of the time, growth looks boring. It looks like choosing better even when no one is watching. It looks like saying no when it would be easier to say yes. It looks like resting when your old self would keep pushing just to prove something. As I changed, my relationships changed too. Some people supported me. Some didn't understand me anymore. That was painful. I had to learn that outgrowing people does not make you a bad person. It just means you are listening to your inner voice. Letting go was one of the hardest parts of my journey, but also one of the most freeing. There was a moment when I realized I was no longer the same person I used to be. I reacted differently. I spoke differently. I treated myself with more kindness. I still had problems, but they didn't control me the way they used to. I felt present in my own life for the first time. I learned that confidence is not about being fearless. It's about trusting yourself even when you are scared. I learned that peace does not come from having a perfect life, but from accepting an imperfect one. I learned that success means different things at different stages of life, and that's okay. My journey is still going. I don't have all the answers. I still have doubts. I still have days when I feel lost. But now I know that those days do not define me. They are just part of the road. I've learned to be patient with myself, to celebrate progress instead of perfection. If you are listening to this and you feel like you are behind in life, let me tell you something important. There is no universal timeline. You are not late. You are not broken. You are learning. Every experience, even the painful ones, is teaching you something about who you are and what you need. Your life can change. Not overnight, not all at once, but step by step. Start with honesty. Start with one small choice. Start with believing that you deserve a life that feels true to you. Before I end this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your open heart. If you listen to this until the end, it truly means more than you know. This journey is personal, but by being here, you became part of it. If this story connected with you in any way, if it made you think, feel, or see your own life a little differently, please support this channel. Like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps this message reach more people who are still searching for hope, clarity, and courage. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in growth. I'll see you in the next video.